showed us all it all he needed. Could park it anywhere, free as a bird. But when he flew, he found out fast that the great outdoors is a barbed wire fence. I'm not staying here when the shit goes south, and the shit seems to be already here. I've a backpack with all my needs. Trouble is, when I dream, all I find is that the great outdoors is a barbed wire fence. I'm sure my grandfather left freedom here, unless my eyes were open when I was born. But this world has left me blind. Is that right, Mother? Am I blind? I'm sure I smelled freedom once in the backwood forests of your eyes. How you said, hide with me, or how else will we ever live free? There's an exodus heading out of town. Their faces are up, but their eyes are down. There's a sun that seems to be shining upside down, and around and around, upside down, and around and around, upside down, and around and around, until we reach the outskirts of town, where we find time and time again that the great outdoors is a barbed wire fence.
Okay, let's get going. I'm just going to bring in Clint and Vicky. Now, the amazing thing about these couple is not only that they were, well, we'll let them tell their story, but they are the parents of Xavier. I don't know if you watched the beautiful Xavier interviews, but these are the parents of that wonderful boy. And here, young man, I should actually say. I'm just so old, everyone under 40 looks like a kid. G'day, guys. How you doing?
Hi.
Hi, how you going?
Now, how are we going to start this? Let's start with this. First off, just out of interest, where did you two meet and what brought you together? What did you like in each other?
High school.
Really?
Yeah, I went to school with Clint's older sister. I'm the cougar.
Yeah.
Haha.
Okay. Well,
But yeah, Clint was in year 10 and I was in year 12, so very taboo.
2 years. Wow. Wow. Good move.
Yeah. And
Wow.
Vicky was writing some poetry, and I think some of it ended up in my sister's diary. And when I read it, I just felt like replying. The poem sung to me, and I replied to it, and that was how it started.
Still singing together. You're still singing together.
Yeah.
That's really beautiful. That's you don't hear this anymore. Usually, like I don't want to talk about mine. But yeah, that's beautiful. So how did you go from meeting in high school to working in prisons. Were you doing anything before that? You just moved into prisons?
We did it. We did a lot before that. We've had a million different jobs.
I love it.
We started our progress early.
Yeah, we started our progress early. We started the job of being parents early.
Oh, that's good. I think that's a good thing. I started late. I'd actually prefer to have them early. My daughter actually asked me once, what would you do if I was pregnant? And I said, why don't you have it? And she's like freaked out, but why not? Why not have it and grow up with it, Yeah. So, how early is early?
Well, I was 15 when I knocked her up. So.
Okay. You're talking early.
Yeah, early.
You're almost like a child bride, really, Clint.
Yeah.
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 So, but yeah, I was, what was that? I was just out of year 10. You were just out of year 12.
Yeah, I'd finally finished school.
And, it progressed on from there. And I got halfway through year 11 and I'm that old school type. I couldn't just go, sorry, see you later. It's like, nah, I left school. I went out. I got a full-time job. I had to support her, had to support Bub. And went on from there.
One of those toxic masculine guys that, there's a scourge of society.
Oh, he's the worst. He's the worst.
Yeah, man. That's straight up. That's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah.
I really love it. I didn't even know. So I'm just poking around and, I thought, oh, wow, that's really humbling. And so you've been together all this time. So just say some of the interesting jobs you did before you became prison officers.
Okay, so you've been a postie.
Yeah.
Done cleaning.
Worked at an abattoir.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. How was that?
Security officer.
Abattoir. That was interesting. You got to have a good gut for it because there's some interesting sights and smells and feels in there.
I bet there is. Now, how long were you there?
It was an in-between job, so that one was only 6 months. So
yeah.
But that was enough. I was happy to move on from there. So I was actually doing that. That was part of, at the time I was working 3 jobs. So I'd go to work, start at 6 in the morning, work at the abattoir through till lunchtime. Then I'd go home, sleep for a couple of hours, then work at a restaurant from 5 till 9:30, get changed in their toilets, and then go work security from 10 at night till about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, go home, get a couple of hours sleep before I started at the abattoir again.
Wow. That's seriously impressive.
But he was also balancing looking after our oldest daughter at the time as well, because I was studying nursing at the time. So I was studying nursing up at the hospital doing that and working part-time, because you got to understand, being that age, we weren't on a full adult wage. So Clint was only on about 60% wage. So he had to work those hours and I had to work the hours because I wasn't eligible for Oz study because my father earned too much. So even though we were married, it was a double jeopardy because we were under 25. So it was so Clint was working those jobs, but he was also looking after our daughter at the same time, between me nursing and studying, and it was hectic and we were broke.
How did the world treat you as such young parents? How was the world around you? Were they concerned for you? Were they praising you? What was the reaction?
Well, it was a mix. When our friends, our teenage friends, turned their backs on us, and not out of hate, but because their parents were probably trying to guide them away from the lifestyle they thought we were going to have, and that's fair. I think that's fair. They weren't doing it out of malice. They just they needed to go a different direction to what we were, and that's fine. So we lost all of our friends pretty much, and we have reconnected with some now.
But still,
but back in those days, you were shunned, and I wasn't allowed to join a mother's group, so I didn't have any guidance. You weren't
allowed to join a mother's group because you were too young.
Yeah, because I was just considered basically just a single teenage parent that just was not going to go anywhere. So fortunately, I had grown up around younger children, My mum did what she could, but she was busy as well. I had 3 brothers, and my dad worked bloody hard, and my mum worked hard as well. And it was back in the 90s where like finances were getting pretty bad, like with the recession and stuff. So it was tough times. Clint's mum was a great help as well, though. Like, so we did have some supports, but it was a different world. We jumped into a very, very different world.
Yeah.
What was it like coming back, though, Clint? You're working those 3 jobs, which must have been arduous. I know, interesting, but it must have been weary on you, getting sleep. Vicky is trying to study. You're coming home. When he came home to the children, what was that like? Was there still sort of a wonder and a love with the children, or were you going, how'd this happen?
It was functional.
It was functional. I was half the time I was bleary-eyed, but I was happy. You've got, my mum's support and Vic's mum's support, but then there's no family or no friends around you. So while you feel supported, you also feel abandoned, but you feel love for the kids, and you're trying to do stuff, but then no one wants to do anything with you. And it was a very up and down time, but it was good. And
good training for the ostracization of COVID era. You're going, we've been here before. We've been ostracized before.
Oh, look, we had some massive ups and downs, especially in those early days. And a child health nurse was
she was a beacon of light.
And
tell us about her.
Well, she could see that Clint and I were scrambling, like really just trying to work shit out. It was because we didn't have the internet back then either. Like, so you couldn't just jump online and go, well, is this baby's upset tummy from this or whatever? You just couldn't do that sort of stuff. So your child health nurse appointments were so important. And she could see that we were just really tired and scrambling. And she said, you two need to stop. You need to stop. And we're like, what do you mean? She said, you need to stop. Remember, friends can become lovers, but lovers can't always become friends. And that one sentence has carried us for the last 30 odd years. We just peeled back the layers of what we were trying to do and went back to our friendship. And we are the best of friends. I mean, anybody that knows it.
You two together. You've got this. You do. But people have couples. You've got this great bond. But I didn't realize how special it was. So I love the fact that Clint persevered because, the how they push it is, the fathers just take off. It's too hard. But you're doing 3 jobs, one of them an abattoir. Working in an abattoir, just your one job is hard enough, but turning up after you've done 2 other jobs, and that is tough. And you're young. You want to go out partying, and here you are watching animals being slaughtered. I mean, it must be just, full on.
Yeah. Oh, so there's some there was some fun times when you're separating hearts from lungs and wrestling sheep out of blood pits and all that sort of stuff. Yeah,
especially as poetry got you together, and now here you are, right in the visceral guts of it all. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just tell us some of the other things. When did it start to get easier, as with the kids and work and stuff? Was it when Vicky became a nurse, or when did things start to ease up a bit, or is it always
after COVID?
Look, with the many ups and downs, Vic's also a qualified nurse as well. So she's gone through, become a qualified nurse and worked at. You've also qualified property manager, worked in that. And
I did half a teacher training, but every time I went back, I kept getting pregnant. So, yeah.
we eventually figured out what the problem was there.
There's a talk about the nursing. What drew you to nursing, and did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I did love the nursing, but it was a tough gig. It was a really tough gig. It was.
What was that?
You're just working so many hours for very little recognition, but you're doing it for the love of the job. Like, you're doing it for the love of the patient and the client and whatnot. And Clint needs to accept. He was also a nurse's aide. He went through and did his nurse's aide training. So we worked in that industry together as well. And Clint was a brilliant nurse. He was absolutely amazing with Alzheimer's and dementia patients. So we did that.
The nurses' pays have come up a lot since we were in the industry. Back then, like I was working full time, they have a pretty decent salary sacrifice system within the health system.
But they need it.
They need it. Yeah. But even with that, I was on full time. I was only on like 35 grand a year. It's So the pays were pretty perfectly honest, were shit back then. That was part of the reason why we left it. So because it was after that we went into
the prisons.
Because
you joined the prisons first.
Yep.
He got into the prisons, and he was working 12-hour shifts. And I still remember the day I walked through the door after working, I think it was only a 6-hour shift as a nurse, and we were so just exhausted. Like I'd work 6 hours. It was like we were short-staffed, and Clint had come home from a 12-hour shift, and he's rolling around playing with the kids on the floor. And I just remember saying to him, I need to do what you're doing. And he said, okay.
Wow,
he
that's
said,
interesting.
Yeah. So we had the chat, and I decided, okay, well, I'll apply a few times, because back then it was a very sought after job working in the prisons. And so I thought, well, I'll apply, and I'll probably won't get in for 2 or 3 years, so I'll just apply. And Clint didn't know until about 4 or 5 stages into the interview process that I'd actually applied. And I said to him, look, I think I better tell you, I'm actually going out to the prison today to do a psych test. It looks like I'm on the next course. So
Can I ask Clint, as 12 hours, you would think that 12 hours in a prison would be dangerous, because after, say, 8 hours, you're getting a bit weary, and then 10 to 12 hours, that's a long day. Would you be vulnerable then to anything happening with the prisoners, because you're a bit sort of, your instincts aren't as sharp as when you start the shift?
I guess that is a possible thing. The 12-hour shifts came about as a negotiation many years before I joined the job between government and unions and officers for pays and conditions. They wanted to work less days, so they said, well, look, we'll work 12-hour shifts to work less days. And that's part of the reason why.
3 days off.
Well, effectively, they do a 3-week rostering system, and you work 10 days every 3 weeks on working 12-hour shifts. So it's a really good lifestyle job in that regard. Things have changed a lot since we joined it. So, and while they still do most of the positions are still 12-hour shifts, it's become very political. So,
Well, what's the difference from a woman working and you were in the same prison?
Yes.
Yeah.
What's the difference between a woman working in the prisons, and it's a male prison, I take it, and a man?
Yes. Well, we've worked in both.
Bunbury, because we worked in 2 different prisons. We worked in Bunbury to start with. Then we transferred to Roebourne Prison for 3 years up in the Pilbara.
Which is a co-ed prison.
Co-ed. And then we came back to Bunbury for our last couple of years. The prison is hard as you make it. If you treat them with the respect
and as the humans that they are.
Being, they're human beings the same as we are.
Yes.
They've fucked up. They've been put in jail, and that's it. So the way I saw it was, okay, you fucked up. You're wearing green. I'll treat you as a human being. You treat me with the same respect, and we don't have a problem. And I never had a problem in the prison at all, ever. And
wow. How long were you in the prison for, Clint?
I was 16 years, and Vicky was 15 years.
Yeah.
So 16 years without an issue.
Nope.
No issues.
None.
Never an issue.
Amazing.
Yeah. Quite happy to do it if they're entitled to it.
It just comes down with respect.
Yep, comes down to respect, to help them out, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
There was even times I'd stay back. Remember, there was a couple of times, one of them I stayed back. One of the prisoners' wives had gone into labour and had the child. And I rang Vicky at home and said, this is the case. This guy's wife's had a child. I'm going to stay back. I'm going to take him to the hospital so he can see his child, his newborn child, only a couple of hours old.
Wow.
And
what was he guilty of? Just out of interest, you don't have names or anything, but was he doing long term or just short?
It was
Short.
a minimum security.
It was a minimum security, so he was only in his
Okay.
last year or two anyway. But
yeah.
from memory, I think he was only in on like a 5 or 6 year sentence. But he was no issue. I got along well with him in the prison anyway. And I said to him, I said to him, I went and saw him before I finished, and I said, I'm happy to do this, but you fuck up, I'll terminate it on the spot and you'll never go anywhere. I'll make sure you lose your minimum. He said, no worries, boss. You won't hear boo from me.
Yeah.
And so I took him in. He had the time with his wife and new child. I think his mum or her mum were there as well. And so I gave them a couple of hours, returned him, and it was all good. And it's things like that. So you just treat them as a human being, and you get the respect, and it flows onto others, because then he'll then go and talk to others and go, no, he's a good guy. Don't do wrong by him, because he'll look after you.
Yeah, because you're an asset to them.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah. How about yourself? How about yourself, Vicky? What was it like from a woman's perspective? Because no offense, you're attractive as well, and you're locked up for a few years. You're going to attract. I mean, not that Clint's not attractive, but if you swing that way, but there's But how about yourself? This must be an interesting thing.
Yeah, it was. I never actually felt threatened. I actually felt very supported. Clint and I were having a bit of a laugh earlier, because many years ago I used to be a smoker, and I remember working, running the maximum security yard at one point, and there was a new arrival, and he'd come in and he was getting really angsty and getting very vocal. And I actually had the prisoners surround me, not to threaten me, but to protect me. And they were like, fuck him, miss, I can go and lock him up. And it's like, no, you just go and shut the door, that's fine. And that was the kind of respect that I was fortunate enough to have. And I do believe I earned that. It was like, I don't believe in bastardizing people. They don't deserve to be bastardized, and they did appreciate that. And it's something that we found really interesting when we came back from the mandates, because we got stood down for 7 months or 7.5 months over the mandates. And when we returned,
let's throw up there. Because this is really interesting. Because I've interviewed a few prison guards, not only our mutual friend, but I've interviewed about 5 or 6 over the years. One of the things that got them very frustrated, because basically it's all unvaccinated ones I've interviewed, is that the prisoners had the choice of taking it or not, and they didn't.
But that's not necessarily.
This was over East, though. This was over East. Yeah. So what was it like here, where the prisoners mandated that they had to take it?
No, they didn't have to do it, but they were coerced. They were coerced just as hard as we were. So many of those men were told, if you get jabbed, then you'll be able to have your visitors come in and visit you and whatnot. And the thing that broke our bloody hearts was going back to work and finding out that there were men that some of them weren't even sentenced prisoners. They were only remand, and the courts were chock-a-block and held up because of the COVID bullshit. Some of these men didn't get to see their newborn children. And even though they had had the jab and done what the government told them and promised them that they would be able to do, and they were lied to. So that broke our heart. That's not fair. That is not fair in anyone's book. Yeah. And even if they were a sentenced prisoner, some of these prisoners were only sentenced because they made a stupid decision at one point in their life. And like that could be you or me or Clint or anybody.
Yeah.
And, but still, they were coerced and they weren't able to see the kids. Yes, they were able to have phone calls and whatnot, but that doesn't make up for human touch and have somebody to come in and visit them. So we did find when we went back to the prison after the 7.5 months, I had prisoners coming to my door, knocking on my door, which was a no-no. I was a senior officer and I'd run units. They were supposed to see my staff first, but they would knock on my door and I'm like, no, you need to go away. And they're like, no, miss, I just want to shake your hand. You showed them. You stood up to them. I just want to shake your hand. And they did the same to Clint. Like they just, it was like,
wow.
It was huge.
Yeah. So let's talk about it. So they come with the mandates. Now, why did you guys decide not to do it? I'm just out of interest. Why did you decide not to take it? Because had you taken all your childhood vaccines yourself? Had you vaccinated your kids with all the childhood?
I was a qualified nurse. I'd given jabs.
There you go. So here
Yeah.
comes this. Why did you decide, okay, we've taken so long to get to here, we finally got stuff behind us, and now we're going to risk it all by not taking this substance? Why did you decide that?
Well, I think there was a few random things that Vic saw which got her brain ticking, and she started researching. And being a nurse, she knows where to look and where to ask questions, and also put friends still within the industry. So lots and lots of research and in the end, she just went, nah, not doing it. It was
Wow.
bad news. And
so you trust her opinion?
Absolutely.
So okay. Yeah,
absolutely. But yeah, we were going through, and we knew we were going to be stood down.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's huge.
But we're getting to that point where it was sort of on the knocker, and I said, I don't want it. But at the time, we had
five mortgages.
We had 5 mortgages at the time, right?
Yeah.
And I said to Vic,
come a long way from working in the abattoir with nothing. Now you have
yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, at the time,
congratulations on that, by the way. I'm not putting you down for that. I think that's amazing. You know, it's a really hard Aussie struggle. That's it. You're Aussie battlers, and here you are.
Yeah.
You know, it's fantastic.
But I said to Vic, I said, whilst I don't want to get it, I can't let us do bankrupt. I said, you hold your line, you do what you're doing. I'll get the jab and go to work. And it was only probably a couple of days later, a friend of ours from Perth, his granddaughter, 14 years of age, got the jab. And she ended up with what's known as an LBBB, a left branch, a Brundle branch blockage. It blocks the electrical messages within your heart.
Yes.
She was perfectly healthy before that. No issues, no nothing. I've already got a right Brundle branch blockage, and I thought, hang on, if that jab can do that to someone is perfectly healthy, what is it going to do to someone that's already got that issue? And I'm not doing it now. Not at all. So we went 7.5 months not being employed.
How long did it take you? Sorry to interrupt, but when they came out, where there's negotiation, were you able to talk to them or put forward your reasons why? Was there any avenue for them listening at all, or was it not? This is it.
We pushed for the union to represent us, and there were quite a few people. A lot of prison officers did go to union meetings and go, look, we want you to represent us, and say, no, do not enforce this jab, and we will walk off the job. But no, the union did not want to play that game. And so we found out apparently the executives in the union were exempt from having the jab. So it wasn't in their best interests. So
wow.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's the same for all unions, because unions across Australia did not fight at all.
No, I don't know. I know it was definitely for executive union in Western Australia. They were on that same tier as what politicians were, because they had different dates as to when mandates were going to hit. And just before they were supposed to get jabbed, it all fell away. And it was completely planned, completely corrupt. And so, we felt sad for a lot of the people that we worked with that did choose to get the jab, because there were some people that were financially crippled. They were they went, no, well, I've just renovated my home. I've got a massive mortgage. I'm a single parent. So there were some people that had some really genuine reasons, and we get that. Unfortunately, the compassion that we felt for them wasn't necessarily reciprocated, and we were exceptionally shunned when we returned to work.
There was probably 50% of the staff didn't want to get it. And when the time came to it, at the final crunch, there was only 6. I think it was only 6 people stood up out of 100.
Out of ours.
Out of ours,
Out of our prison,
from just our prison, 150, 180 staff, only 6 people didn't get it. Whereas probably 50% of them said they didn't want to, but then just fell in line. So
that's
and not only that,
schools and stuff,
but not only that, as state government employees, as in through the prisons, we were refused access to all our leave entitlements, refused permission for a second job, and refused any long service leave or sick leave.
Yeah. So we both had long service leave available to us. So 13 weeks.
Yeah.
And
I had about 18 weeks worth of leave. You had about 13 weeks worth of leave available.
Plus
we could have
sick
used
leave
instant
everything.
leave plus sick leave and that on top
but
of that.
they said no, you can't use any of it. You're going to be on zero pay. And I formally wrote to the the assistant superintendent who was acting as the superintendent at the time, and said, look, we have a lot of financial stress. We need to take on a second job. And I was given direct instructions that we were not allowed to have a second job. So
why?
Because they said so.
That's it. Just bastardization.
Yeah.
They said they wanted to break us. They said, no, you're just not complying with a lawful order. And I said, well, it's not a lawful order at this time. We're actually adjunct with, what's his name, Ben Falconer. We were part of that court case. I said, we are actually appealing that at the moment. That is currently in court. And they went, no, we are not giving you permission to have a second job. So it was all coercion all the way through. But fortunately for us, and we know that everybody else, well, not everybody else was in the same position as us, but we had those properties that we could sell. But I mean, that was our nest egg. That's what we'd worked towards.
I get it. Yeah. And you'd worked really hard for it.
Yeah, we did. We worked bloody hard for it. We didn't have the party time as teenagers and in our 20s.
I know.
I mean, we're making up for it now, but but it's but we were fortunate enough that we had worked really hard, and we sold a couple of properties and took that stress away from us and paid out some other mortgages. But that was never part of the game plan. But we're just thankful that we're given this opportunity now just to reflect and be happy and enjoy life. And it's, they're not going to break us. They'll never break us. They can try, but they'll never bloody break us.
It's such a crime though, isn't it? They're determined to get you, not going to work. It's just like, who are you? Do you realize you're living in a democracy? That we have shrines everywhere that people have fought and died for our freedom, and you're just pissing over all of them?
Yeah.
You know, it really is outrageous. You know, that's why people going to us, you know, everyone keeps saying to me, all their friends and family go, haven't you moved on? Haven't you moved on? No, we haven't moved on because we want to deal with the fact that you all became Nazis overnight.
Yeah.
You know, which they did.
Yeah.
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 So how did you survive those 7 months? What was those 7? Because finally you've got 7 months together, like a 7-month honeymoon. You can't work. You can't this. What was that like?
Well, do you know what? That's probably when we decided we're not following the rules, and we bloody worked anyway. So
that's great. I love it.
Yeah. But no, we didn't get anything permanent.
What were you doing?
Clint, you just picked up casual work.
I just picked up some casual work, doing some removals and transport and stuff. And you were doing some
I just did some receptionist work, and but we were very fortunate. We were very heavily supported, not financially, but we were supported by the freedom community here in Bunbury. We're fortunate enough to have a beautiful produce garden at home, and so we had heaps of beetroot. So I made beetroot relish, and I sold beetroot relish, and so we'd have heaps of tomatoes in there. So I'd make tomato sauce, and Clint would get involved as well. Like we'd do it, quite clearly we do everything together. But we'd make stuff together and we'd sell it. And fortunately, our beautiful community here, they would share that with us, and they would help us and support us, and like we know that we were like making good product, and they were enjoying our product. So it was a very community-based thing. It was beautiful, and we're so fortunate that we've got that.
Yeah. Now we consider all these freedom community, they're all family. So essentially, when we got to it, we, I think first one we went to, we're standing there bug-eyed, looking at these, going, "Holy shit, what are we doing? We're going to this rally, and there's all these people, and we saw people selling stuff, and so we went, shit, we got no money. Like maybe we should. So we spent all that next week cooking up an absolute storm. We went to the rally, got there and went, oh, shit. We don't have a table. We don't have a gazebo. We don't have chairs. We don't have nothing. We just bought food and that was it. And I said to Vic, I went, that guy in the hat, I recognize him. And he's a regular on this, regular viewer and stuff. Jeff Rowe, thank you very much, man.
Jeff.
You're a legend.
Great, Jeff. Yeah.
I wandered up to him and went, hey, man, are people allowed to sell stuff here? He goes, yeah, bud, absolutely. Come on over. Here's my table. Share half the table with me. Come along, help out, come and join in. You can do what you need to do to survive.
Yeah.
And that was it.
If anyone was born for these times, it's Jeff. He just seems to, he's got it in his swagger. I know he's been through a lot too, but still got about him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and how he brings people together and stuff like this. Stays in touch. Yeah, he's a great asset. Yeah. I've been impressed with everybody we're meeting down south as we come in, from Barry Green to who are those people in Bridgetown? Honey and Michael. You know what? How do you say it? Sorry, brain. Patchy Mama in Bridgetown. If you ever go to Bridgetown, it's there, Vanjie and stuff. And we just keep meeting these wonderful people who still want to help, who still want to reach out, and they're all full of compassion and empathy. They've had all of society. It's the same with you guys. Society's trying to break you and make you bitter and angry, and here you are giving back. I think that's the revolution. We're not going to hate.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
We're just not going to join you. Go hate all by yourself. Yeah.
No.
So how is your view of, say, WA or even Australia changed from where you first heard of COVID to who you are now?
I don't know. Like,
don't trust the politicians.
Yeah.
Hang on.
It's a hard one for me to answer because, like, I mean, we've had a couple of conversations, Michael, and I don't like to take a negative point of view on things. When I see something negative, I like to spin it into a positive because it can always be a positive. And it's, the government sucks, but do you know what? Your neighbour doesn't. So let me
rephrase the question.
Yeah.
Even though you've been through hardships, what are the lessons you've learned about yourself in say the last 5 years? You know, because you've been through strong troubles before, but here you were ostracized by your community again from when you were kids. But this is something different now. There's an insidiousness to it. There was something dark about the way they ostracized people. So you had to be in that darkness and get out of it. So what are the lessons you've learned? I'll start with Vicky.
I've just learned to trust the people that treat you well. Like, I mean, I absolutely trust and adore my husband, obviously. But yeah, like, don't let it drag you down. Don't let all this shit drag you down. It's always going to be there. And just because it's come to the light doesn't mean it wasn't always there. It was always there. And we need to be prepared. And I'm thankful now that I'm prepared for that and I can be more prepared for that. So I suppose that's my answer to it.
Yeah.
How about yourself, Clint?
And for me, it's that while we were ostracized by the larger community, we have found and become part of this new community, and which we now call family. Yeah. You know, we can call on them at any time and get assistance or help or put a call out for a bonfire just to bring people together or
we
never had it before. We used to do it for years. We'd put on barbecues and events and stuff like that and no one would turn up. Now we can do it and we'll end up with 100 people at our house. And we go, shit, we don't know where all the cars are going to park.
Yeah.
I only found out at the last event when you guys were here that there was people parked up and down the road.
That was a great night. I just loved the feeling there. There was no animosity, people sleeping in swags in the end of the night, everyone just chatting away, the fire bringing us all together. There's something prehistoric about a group of people being around a fire.
Oh,
it just
beautiful.
feels right.
Yeah.
It's just real.
Yeah.
It's just real.
Yeah, I think
it's
so.
no bullshit.
You know? Yeah.
But within that family and that community we're now a part of, that family, I like to call them. A lot of it is like we need to get back to old school way of living. We need to learn how to support each other. We need to learn how to support ourselves. So we're helping each other. We're teaching each other how to forage for food, or how to grow things, or how to gather water, or just how to cook things in a better way, or learning canning and storing of food and stuff like that. So it's getting back into a more natural way of being. It's it's really nice.
It's just connecting.
Yeah, and with that, it is the connecting, because you're learning directly from other people, not learning off a computer screen. You're connecting with people to learn. So it's really nice.
And our community, one thing it does is it loves having conversations. You go to these gatherings and no one's sitting around, everyone's chatting. And there's very few filters. Everyone's just in and this and that. I love it. It's vibrant. I think this is, why wouldn't we be a part of it? It was the same in Epic, but all the other gatherings Kelly and I've been to all around Australia, it's all the same. You get there and they stay up till, I think we had one, Dr. Peterson, and we got up at like 3 a.m, and you're thinking people are still talking at 3 or 4 in the morning, and it's all the oldies in their 80s and 70s sitting around the bonfire, just still chatting away and just loving themselves. I love it. Us youngies have gone to bed.
I still remember we were at a friend's bonfire. We'd taken our caravan out. We'd sort of parked out on the side, and we went to bed about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. I woke up at about 4 or something, and had a drink of water, looked out the window, and I saw one of the guys stoking wood up on the fire. This is about 4 or 4:30 in the morning. He was in his 60s. He's still stoking the fire up, still going for it. He loved it,
That's it. So, can I ask, the other thing though is you have children. What was your concerns about the children during COVID? Because I have 2 children. They're both young adults now. Neither of them are vaccinated, but it was tough. My son was locked down. He was going, I can't take it. I want to see my friends. He was going to get it, but he didn't. It was very, very tough for the kids. How did it go with your I know I've talked to Xavier, but how did it go with your children? And what were your thoughts? Because it was like the state was attacking the kids that weren't taking it as well.
Well, 4 kids, obviously we encouraged them all, supported them all with as much information as we had to sort of go, while we're not saying don't get it because you're an adult, you got to make your own choices. You need to let them have their own choice. But
we had two that took it and 2 that didn't. And we won't go into their personal reasons for why they didn't take it. But we're proud of the choices that they have made, and they've seen what's happened over time. And the ones that did take it, they haven't actually had any boosters or anything. They've really woken up to what's going on. It's so we were concerned. We still are concerned about what could happen because of what they'd had. But it's just a learning curve and we've got to accept that, and this is part of our journey as parents as well, that we need to accept that our children are going to make choices for themselves and also for their own children, because we've got 4 grandchildren as well. And
What's it like being grandparents? My kids haven't had kids yet. What's it like being and you're so young? What's it like being grandparents? Is it like
freaking awesome because you can give them back?
Yeah, that's right. I've heard that as a cliche, but that's actually right. You can actually go.
Yeah, and you can get away with giving them lollies and chocolates and stuff like that. And
no, it's wonderful. We're getting to enjoy our kids in a way that we weren't, our grandkids in a way that we weren't able to enjoy our grandkids, our children. Yeah, and it's something that we do. Yeah, we were. Yeah. And it's something that we acknowledge our children for. And if our children are watching, thank you. And please understand that I really mean it from the bottom of my heart, that we recognise that our children went without a lot. They sacrificed a heck of a lot. And one of our kids has just commented on there now saying that she knew that it was all bullshit from the beginning. Go you, Georgia. Stevie they went without a lot. They took the hits. They made a lot of sacrifices. So it wasn't just us that took sacrifices. Our children sacrificed a heck of a lot. I remember when our oldest daughter turned 4 years old, and Clint's working 3 jobs. I'm studying and working, and we got our oldest daughter. And I still remember what we were able to afford for her birthday. We got, like, I can't even remember what I got for her birthday present, but for her birthday dinner, we got a sausage roll, a vanilla slice, and a chopped caramel slice, and we cut it into 3. That was her birthday dinner for 3 of us, because it was a treat. So, and
because we couldn't afford fuck all.
Yeah. But do you know what? We don't sit there and suck our thumb and get all upset over it. We go, thank goodness we've got that memory to bounce off and to.
It's a beautiful memory. But you've got love.
Yeah.
You've got love. It's just so valuable. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But it's also those hard times that have made us the people that we are.
Yeah.
It's made us appreciate stuff so much more, made us work so much harder towards what we've got now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think people don't realize. I remember one woman I interviewed even before COVID. She was a single mum, and she said the thing that broke her one night was her daughter lost a tooth, wanted the tooth fairy, and she searched the house for 50 cents and couldn't find a single coin in the house, ripped up everything and just, you know, and stuff like this. And people don't realize it's only small, but it's profound. You know what I mean? But still, they were together and really, really close years later. But it's how do you see going forward now with the future for yourselves and for the country? Do you feel an awakening in the country, or you still think it's the same? And what are you seeing change at all in a positive way?
I think there's been some change in a positive way. A lot of people that have got their eyes open and are willing to see things for what they are becoming either awake or becoming more awake to what's going on and deciding to turn back to more natural things, the building communities, building stronger family suits and stuff like that. And for those that aren't, all it is we can only be a soft landing pad for those that haven't gotten that far yet.
They may not have had the education, or they may have been misled, or they may have been scared. And there's a massive fear campaign out there. Massive. I mean, you see it all the time.
Yeah, now it's bird flu. You know?
I know. I know.
My parents were very worried about it today. Oh, bird flu, I'm going. You know?
Yeah, but Michael, here's my dad joke. It's just quackers. So, yeah.
Did you see the ostrich thing we did?
Yes, I did. I loved it.
Yeah, that's gone nuts. Because this is what we did with monkeypox. We laughed it into the ether. And that's why I don't think people are going to literally have to be dying in the streets before we believe them next time. You know what I mean? It's really interesting that they're pushing it. So things have changed. I'm not concerned, but I'm wondering if one of the great lessons of this time is having Australians reevaluate their value system. What's most important? Picked up air,
absolutely.
Body autonomy, relationships, love, family, kids. You know, I think this is the real awakening. What's actually most important to us? Because that's what I'm seeing around. You know what I mean? And that's what I think our community offers. Because people, if anyone came to your gathering when we were there the other night, they would have gone, who are these people? 5 years ago, they didn't know each other. And look at them. They're sitting there. There's a connection to them.
Yeah.
What is this connection? Why are they talking so openly? Why are they laughing? Why are they so close? Why are the men hugging?
Yeah.
You know, they're not even gay. What's going on here? And that's the thing. What are your thoughts on that, though? Do you think this is the way forward, that we suddenly remember how special it is to be a human being?
100%.
Yeah.
Like, I am so incredibly grateful for COVID. Like, for the bullshit for the period of COVID. Not like, because I mean, COVID's just a bullshit thing, but it's I love what the last 5 or 6 years has done for us. Like, it's brought us connection with each other. I mean, Clint and I've always loved each other and adored each other, but we're closer every day.
Yeah.
And but we're closer to people and friends, and we've got the most amazing friends, like things that we just haven't been able to have before. And that's better than a sports car or a fancy home or an expensive holiday. We are the richest people in our lives because we've got everything that we've got. And you can't quantify that.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, so you're actually getting deeper and closer together after 30 years. You're still
for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We do more and more together. We do. I mean, obviously, we still do things apart, but when we do things, we both get involved, and we're both cooking. Yeah, like I do more outside stuff. Vic does more inside stuff, but we still want to do things together. We still participate in it together. It's still part of our journey together. Yeah. And the more we're doing together, the more we figure out we love each other, and it's just. We're not living separate lives under the same roof. Yeah. We're here together. We're part. This is us. This is our partnership. This is our love. So,
I just want to see Elle smiling at that. It's. This is what it is. I mean, look at you guys. 30 years together. They tried to break you, and all they did was enrich your lives.
Yeah.
With a. You know, this is what's said. It's saying to people, like in that novel I wrote, Goodbye Road, you know, they were saying they kicked us out. We were like the orphans. They kicked us out. Get out of here. You're not going to jump to this hoop. Go away. But we, instead of all racing back, going, oh, let us back in, we actually found each other.
Yeah.
And gatherings are the same. I mean, we often talk about Epic because we were over there, but it doesn't matter, Epic. The gatherings are everywhere. I found them all. I remember when we were in Broome with Wendy and Cret, we were staying on a farm that the woman was unvaccinated, and you couldn't live. If you didn't have a job in Broome, you couldn't live there because everything's so expensive. So her farm was full of tents of all these unvaccinated people, like refugees.
That's
and they're all
awesome.
just getting on in this beautiful atmosphere. And I thought, all these people need is each other.
Yep.
And I wondered if that was the lesson of COVID.
Yeah.
You know, strip everything away we think we need. We still got each other. We'll be okay.
Yep.
You know?
That's it.
Yeah.
But what we've been to, I mean, obviously we're still very family orientated and stuff like that. And we had an uncle came over from Queensland. They were doing a big caravan trip over. He came over from Queensland, and we met up down in Busselton. And we've sort of walked in. Everyone's already there, and blah blah blah. And we've got greeted at the door, and they've gone, "Oh wow!" And suddenly it's arms around us, and they've let us in and gone, "Hey everyone, this is Vicky and Clint. They're not vaccinated. They're fantastic." And we got paraded around as the unvaccinated people that stood up against the government mandates and are still thriving and doing amazing things.
Yeah.
But the irony is, only 3 years earlier, we'd been the ones that we had to ask permission to go to Christmas.
That was extraordinary. That's the thing that really hurts a lot of people when you bring it up. Being excluded from Christmas is really painful to a lot of people. And stuff. Can you go back a bit? So when you went back to work, you said when you went back to work, you were shunned by the other officers. Was that just sort of jealousy or something?
I think it was jealousy, but it wasn't necessarily their own jealousy. It was fueled by misinformation. There was a lot of lies.
Lies. It's called what it is, lies.
Yeah, there were people that were telling others there that we were on full pay. And so clearly these people are working short-staffed, thinking we're sitting at home on full pay, doing nothing while they're working their guts out because we chose bodily autonomy. So I can understand that. I can understand why they were so angry. But there's a lot of them out there that they chose not to come to us and get the full story or the true story. And very often the first story they hear is what's going to stick. Yeah. And it's, So I just, we were shunned and we ended up getting bullied out. Like there was some, there were some actions that were taken. Like, I mean, quite often, especially towards the end, I was running a bed of a 160 bed unit, so 160 men in my unit.
My
And
God.
so I had a lot of staff, and most of my staff were generally pretty good. But there were some other senior officers, like, because that's what my rank was as well. They would set me up to fail. And so they might dump like 8 or 10 new prisoners on me at 4 o'clock in the afternoon when the kitchen's already finished dishing up and when the laundry's already closed. And so basically setting me up to fail. And that sort of stuff, like it hangs heavy on you. Fortunately, as we said before, like we had a lot of prisoners who supported what we had done. So I was able to pull on those strengths and that communication. And so I was able to pre-plan, but that's a lot to process during the day. I mean, you're already running a unit of 160 prisoners and they're not minimum. These ones were mediums. And so I'm trying to deal with that, deal with like 10 staff, deal with management, deal with the animosity that's being thrown at us. And then I've got all these prisoners that are thrown into my unit at the end of the day. So I would actually talk to a couple of different prisoners during the day when I knew when certain staff were on and go, look, can you just make sure everything's sorted, that we've got extra meals ordered, we've got this, because that's what prisoners did. I'm not asking for them to do anything out of the ordinary. But it was stuff that I shouldn't have had to do as a unit manager and a senior officer. And it weighed heavily. And it was really difficult when you know that other staff are not supporting you with those things. And it was purely due to jealousy, and that jealousy was fueled by misinformation that could have been stemmed by management in the first place. And but that's just what is, Michael. It's like, do you know what? All I say is thank you. Thank you for doing that, because look where our life is. Our life is so much better.
Yep.
And
so did you quit together?
Sorry?
Did you quit together? Did you resign at the same time?
Yeah. We just, I effectively had a nervous breakdown. I just couldn't turn up couldn't turn up to work anymore. And, but yeah, and Clint supported me, and he just went, no, I just can't do it either. And like, I mean, Clint and I are very energetically connected.
But the lies and manipulation that were coming out, you had some people that were just, as Vic was saying, I had it the same as well. They were actively gaslighting you, turning things against you. So it didn't matter what you did, they always made you out to be wrong, which went higher up the chain to senior management. And it's like, hang on, that's not what I did. But then your boss tells them that that's what you did, so they believe the boss. And it's
But there was a whole level of ignorance there too, Michael. Like when we did go back to the prisons, and like we would do a debrief at the start of the day, like the senior officers would go there to find out how we're going to run the unit, because I mean, inevitably we were always short-staffed. And I would have some of these senior officers ignore me and just go, you've got no idea what COVID's about. You haven't been here, yada, yada, yada. And I'd just turn around and say, look, I'm pretty sure I'm the only qualified fucking medical professional in this room, because I'm a qualified nurse. You guys are just idiots. Like you're treating me like I don't know what's going on, but I'm actually more qualified than you. I may not have been here, but that doesn't mean I didn't want to be here. I kept pushing to be here, but that's not what they wanted to hear, and that's not what they wanted to attack.
They'd already made up their mind.
They had, but I don't know that they were angry at us. They were angry at the situation, but it was targeted at us because we were the easy target.
They even changed some of the rulings during the process, because when the mandates first went out, if you got COVID, that gave you an exemption and you could go back to work.
Yeah.
We ended up with COVID purely by fluke. Vicky received a call from the superintendent.
It was the second day that I had
second
COVID.
Day.
Yeah.
COVID. And they chit-chat back and forth, blah, 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 blah. Yes, I want to come back to work. I've got it at the moment, so as soon as I can go to the doctors, I'll get my exemption. Can you confirm I'll be allowed back to work?
Yeah, we'd be happy to have you back, Vicky.
Was the superintendent's answer. And it was, 2-3 days later?
Yeah.
An executive order came out from the government that having COVID no longer applies an exemption. You must have at least 2 shots.
Yeah, even if you've had COVID.
Yeah.
So that's how well it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So once people started pushing on their here's the ruling. Once people started pushing on their rulings, they changed it. They changed the rules.
Yeah.
So
they just wanted everyone to take this shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's it.
Yeah.
They just determined to do it. Yeah. Yeah, it's incredible. There's a what are you guys doing now to earn a living?
Well,
or do you not want to
I'm
say?
doing a bit of events work. I work for a hire company, so we do setups for weddings and corporate events and VIP.
Well, I love how versatile you are, mate. You are a jack of all trades. Which is, when my growing up, that was what my father was. Put his hand to everything. It was a beautiful way to be, but you're amazing.
Yeah. And Vicky is now, she's started up her own business, which, I mean, that's for her to talk about.
Yeah.
But
so I sell thermomixes, and I've started my own cooking business where I can go in and cook for people that are time poor or just don't know how to cook. And I can do
get in touch with you for that? So this is in the Bunbury, Bustleton area?
Yeah, Bustleton, Bunbury, Capel, anywhere in the southwest.
Mm-hmm.
So how do they get in touch with you for that?
That I've got a business called Let Me Cook. So it's just Let Me Cook. I'm still getting the website up and go. Sorry.
Okay, still got the website coming up. Okay. Let us know when
I do have a Facebook page. But yeah, and I've just gone through NDIS accreditation, so I can do that.
And that's called Let Me Cook or something.
Yes.
What's the website? What's the Facebook page? Actually, there's a private if you look as private chat on the right, can you see it?
Yep, I can see that.
Put it in there and we'll put the link up. See if we can get you some business.
Let me have a look. I don't even know how to run these things. This is how uneducated I am. Let me have a look. It's just Let Me Cook.
We'll get the spelling right too.
Well, I do own the webpage letmecook.com, .com.au. But yeah, I'll see if I can find an actual link to be able to put it in there. But yeah, if people look me up on Facebook, it's just quite literally called Let Me Cook.
Oh, I've got it. Got it.
You found it? Okay.
Yep, got it.
But yeah, so and I mean that's something that I like to do with people. I like to be able to cook with people. Clint cooks along with me, and it's something else that we've learned along the way. We had to learn how to cook on a budget. We needed to learn how to cook in a time poor environment. And so when I say that I go in and cook for people, I'm not just cooking one dish. I'm cooking 3, 4, or 5 dishes at the same time. So they are getting as much value for money as I can possibly offer.
There is it there, guys. Check it out.
Awesome.
In the Bunbury, Bustleton area, check it out there and share. If you know anyone, share it out. Let's see if we can get these people some business. Keep talking, Vicky, about what you're doing. So you'll come up to someone's place, you might cook for the week or something and leave their meals in the fridge and stuff.
Yeah, so I can cook them, I can come in and do, even if they're having a birthday party and they just want to be able to interact with all the other mums and dads and whatnot for their kids, I can come in and cook for them and then clean up any mess that I've made, and they're able to enjoy the party rather than having to muck around with that. Or if somebody needs NDIS support and needs me to come in and cook up a whole heap of meals and throw them in the freezer for them, I can do that. I can do whatever they want, and it's all by negotiation.
Even cooking to requirements, dietary requirements, or
so if they want high protein,
how many people have those now? It's not funny, you know.
What's that? Sorry.
So many people have dietary requirements now. It's not
fun. Absolutely. So, but I mean, and it's also a lot of parents find that it's a bit cheaper to do it that way as well, because there's a lot of school canteens closing, and if parents are paying $10 a week, $10 a day to feed their kid from the school canteen, it could be cheaper for them to just employ me to come in and make all the kids' wraps and some muffins and all those bits and pieces ready for the week, Like, because so many parents are having to go out and work. Like, both parents are out to work, but they want their kids to eat well. They don't want their kids to eat rubbish from Woolies or Coles or whatever. They want to have decent food, and I can offer that to them. And so, so we've just found a little niche in the market and just building a business from that.
Yeah.
And hopefully it takes off.
Well, I think you've actually got such a great personality. It'd be interesting if you could figure out how to actually do small cooking, say like 10-minute videos on YouTube, how to cook this.
Yeah.
How to cook
I
that.
did. Yeah, I do that with my Thermomix.
Yeah, and wrap that up with your business. So I can come to your house and cook, but this is stuff like this, because I think a lot more people are cooking. We eat out a bit, depending if we get up and we've got a lot to do, we go eat out. But a lot of the time we cook for ourselves now a lot.
Yeah.
And stuff like this. And there's something else you said, which I loved. You said you lost everything, you lost this, but you were happy, you felt rich because you had each other. And you had these other people.
Absolutely.
Oh, we're the richest people in the world having what we've got.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel the same. I feel the same with me and Cal. We just feel rich. But it's only if you look at wealth from a different perspective. If you look at wealth, I need $1 trillion, then we don't even register on the scale. But if you actually look at just loving being alive and loving doing what you're doing and purpose, and I think that's what we have to sell to the community. There's a better way. If you really hate your life, if you really feel you've been basically pushed to a nervous breakdown, so many people feel that way. There is another way. It's beyond the fence. There is another way to live, and maybe even
being rich is not necessarily going out to a fancy restaurant. It could be making a cup of tea or pouring a glass of wine, going down to the beach and sitting there with some cheese and crackers watching the sunset, with the person you love. It doesn't have to be going to the Crown Casino or a fancy restaurant. It could be taking a caravan out to the middle of the bush and just sitting there enjoying nature. It's
having a bonfire and having all these lovely people turn up and just a night of friendship and talking,
But this is our duty in life now, Michael, is that we've found so much happiness and joy. It's our duty to share that and to be able to encourage others to make that choice to enjoy something. Like, shit happens. Like, you might smash into another car, but you know what? That might have stopped you from dying in another place. Like,
that's right.
It's just everything happens for a reason. Everything. And if somehow we can share that joy and teach people how to choose the happier option, then that we've done our job. That's what it is. Yeah.
Can I just say, I want to applaud Clint for probably being one of the most beautiful husbands I've talked to in a long time. You made a brilliant father, a brilliant husband. You're an example for so many. And there's so many attacks on men, especially mature white males, as you know. They make us out to be the scourge of society, and you are nothing of that. I'm really in awe of you. Not the same with you, Vicky, because obviously you've made it work half and half. But to find people that met that early on in life, in school, left school to support a young mum, and you're still together and you've gone through all the shit that life throws at you, and you still feel rich.
Yeah.
For me, it's always been about creating a balance between all the, prominent fathers in my life. Like my father passed away when he was 44. I was only 19.
So you're just a new dad, really.
Yes.
And you probably when you need his support and he dies on you. Oh, my wow.
Yeah. So, that was unfortunate, but that's just one of those turns. So then it was a lot on Vicky's dad. He was stuck around for a lot more years, but also my grandfather is still around. My grandfather's still kicking on. He's 92. So we've currently got 5 generations running. And for me, it's always been this sort of this balancing thing of between my father, who was a general hardworking bloke, but one of the old school stereotypical males. If he cooked, it's because it was on a barbecue. If he cleaned, it was because it was something in his shed. If he did something, it's because it was outside in the garden. He didn't do anything inside. Vicky's
Yeah, I
dad
get
was
it.
much the same, but also had a very generous heart in the sense that he did a lot for Rotary in the Busselton Shire.
Yeah.
So a big Rotary
Yeah.
person in there. And then my grandfather, who's always been a very, very generous person in the sense that he was one of the head JPs in the state until he had to stand down when he was 70. However, do you know of the Lions cancer screening vans that get all around Australia? They do the
Oh, yes,
Lions.
yes. Oh, yes.
That's my grandfather. He literally built them in his backyard
From the ground up.
from the ground up. The first one he built, he converted a caravan and towed it with his own personal car. And since then, I think there's only one vehicle he has not built himself. He's done them all. He used to train the GPs and everything. And he's still kicking on, and he's an amazing man, and he's still kicking on. And for me, my life has been about trying to create this balance between all these amazing men in my life while still trying to honor my darling wife and trying to be the best husband I can be. So it's a balancing act, but it's one I'm enjoying doing, and I'm loving it. It's partaking in it because you're always learning, you're always participating, you're always getting on. It's like, okay, well, that failed, but what can we do now? Well, how can we make it better next time? You know, it's just learning.
What do you think? I'm going to ask particularly Clint. What is it that's had you fall in love with this woman apart from her poetry that's kept you here with her all these years?
That love,
because I don't want to get divorced here, but just
that love, the strength to domination, the strength in regards to family and relationships, and the commitment to people, keeping people together, helping people out, whether it was me, whether it was our kids, whether it was friends or grandparents. It's one of those things. I mean, I was always that way to a degree, but Vicky helped me really amplify that. And so it's that strength, that commitment to other people. Like, oh no, I'll stop what I'm doing. I'll drop what I'm doing and I'll turn around and help you. And I didn't click on it until one night. My stepdad had been over. He was on his way home from Perth, and he'd actually been in Perth helping out a friend with funeral stuff. God bless his heart. And he came in, stopped in, had dinner with us, and he left. And we went, look, why don't you just stay the night? No, I'll be fine. I'll drive back. That's okay, no worries. He's left our place in Capel and he's driving back to Carradale. About 3/4 an hour later, I've gotten a phone call. He's gone, oh shit, Clint, I've had a crash. And without thinking, I just went, oh fuck, where are you? He told me. I got in the car and drove there. But I was almost there, and I went, I probably shouldn't be driving, actually. I may have had a wee bit too much to drink. But it was my thought of, shit, I've got to help someone.
Family
comes first. It was that I've got to help him.
Family comes first.
I wasn't waving her over the road or anything like that. It was just a thing of, if the police pulled me over, I probably would have clocked over the limit, only just. But it was I've got to help him. No, that was it. And he was standing on the side of the road, bug-eyed. He'd been standing there for nearly half an hour by the time I got there, and no one stopped. No one stopped. And it was on the highway, Bustle Highway. And no one stopped and saw him. Even just to check on him, he feels all right. But it was, it's like, so yeah, to me, it's just about helping people, lending that support, helping out where you can. And Vic has helped teach me that. She's a very generous woman.
That's beautiful. My father and mum have been together 61 years. My father used to do most of the work outside. I remember coming home and he'd be cutting the vegetables for the night's meal. But now mum has issues and he does everything now. And he just does it. He's just here. I always watch him doing everything. And he's so kind. He's so gentle. And he's got a great humor to him. He's 88. We came around the other day. He's up a tree, cutting a tree. I'm like, hey, guy, do you remember you're 88 years old? And he's up in the tree, and it's incredible. And they get on. And I think they keep going because they're just loving each other's company. I remember he collapsed a few years ago and Mum was next to me in the kitchen, and I said, "What did you do?" She said, "I just sat there going, 'Don't leave me, Bob. Don't leave me, Bob.'" Broke my heart, you know.
Mm.
And so there's just this great love. So it is possible to make love work, you know.
Yeah.
Can I ask you one final thing? Has it always been effortless, the relationship, or have you
No.
worked on it together? Oh, thank God for that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you've actually worked on it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. We both had to work on it. Probably me more so than Vicky.
No, you're bloody hard work.
Can you emphasize a bit on that, or what are some of the lessons you had to learn as a bloke to make this relationship work? Because it's a testament,
look,
man.
I've done. I don't know if you ever heard of Inward Adventure back in the day, many years ago. That was a course that was going around. The Forum is another one I've done. I've been to counselling sessions, and in the end, it comes down to I learned, even though Vic had been telling me all along, I needed to be more passionate, not just with her, but passionate about life. Have a love for it. Dedicate yourself to things. Show love for things for people, and it takes time and it takes effort, and it takes times where you got to go, all right, I'm being a grumpy ass shit at the moment. I'm really sorry for that. I'm going to try and be better. And it's about just acknowledging the people, even just simple things like asking, how was your day today? Or how did you sleep last night? Or would you like me to give you a foot rub? You know, just you got to show the appreciation for the important people in your life, and
not always
show
with
that
the
you
mouth,
appreciate.
because you speak with your whole body can speak. Eyes,
Absolutely.
tension.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. So, and lucky for me, she's put up with me all this time.
Honestly, the comments, like here's Borrow. Borrow's usually, no offense, Borrow, but usually he's a sarcastic bastard. Yeah, Victoria Tony, you are loved. You're melting people on here. If you look back at these comments, there's it's saying here that they can feel the love pouring through the screen. This is what we need now. The world is getting darker, and I'm a big believer in love. It's the darkness can't survive in the presence of love. It's fantastic. And there's a lot of people who are really struggling, especially I know a lot of people, one got vaccinated, one didn't, and the relationships simply don't work. But, you know, Cal and I have a lot of ups and downs, but we are madly happy with each other. It's quite giddy sometimes, you know what I mean? And you're realizing, well, I'm going here to the grave with this person if I can make it work, because, you know, found my person and I found purpose. Kelly's got purpose, and you got purpose and love. What else do you need? The rest will just turn up. Yeah,
that's right.
These are the lessons I'm learning late in life, but you learned them in school.
Well, still learning, always learning.
We'll always be learning.
That's right.
And we'll always be choosing to see it. Like when something shit happens, and something shit will come up again.
Oh, of course.
We'll choose to peel back those layers and go back to the friendship, because that's where it comes back to. So yeah.
Michael Caine said that about what you said, Vicky. Something shit happens to you, something bad. Look at it. There's always a flip it. There's always a positive side, or mostly, not always. Mostly, you know, there's some things that are dreadful, but mostly there's always a positive side. So, you know, these are the lessons of living. Yeah,
absolutely.
That's one thing, actually, Michael, that I've always told my kids. Like, when shit happens and they're upset about something, we've always said, be angry, allow yourself to feel those emotions and really feel them. Be angry, but give yourself a time limit. And once that time's up, you need to get the fuck over yourself. And do you know how often that's helped? It's just, you just need to do it.
Because rather than letting that bad mood continue on for hours, days, sometimes weeks, give yourself a limit. And you go, all right,
but more importantly, give yourself permission to feel the feels.
Yeah,
that's what I think. You actually do feel angry. This has happened. You know, you've had a car accident or someone's stolen your car. Be angry.
Yeah.
But give yourself.
But even sometimes it's something as simple as you fucked up the evening meal. You know, you might have fucked up the evening meal, and it's like, okay, be grumpy, be angry, be upset. Okay, but
I filled the bus full of petrol. And I refused to accept that I did until Kelly called the station. There'd be on CCTV. I still can't believe I did it, but I did it. But then this is what happened. You know, we're on the side of a freeway. I'm thinking, this is the end. What are we going to do? Lovely Indian Sikh guy, he takes us to the closest mechanic, who's an unjabbed mechanic.
Oh, fantastic.
And he gets up at 4 a.m. He fixes it all, and we go to pay him. He goes, no, mate, you guys got to continue with your work. So, you know, and we're still in contact. It was just this, and we wouldn't have found him. And now, he didn't know about the freedom movement, so putting in contact. So it was all like, wow, did that happen for a reason? We meant to happen. It's remarkable.
Yeah.
You know, you just don't know. It's almost having a faith. Just have a faith that good things come along as well. You know,
absolutely. Yeah.
Now, I don't have any other questions. I'm in awe. You guys have just lifted my spirits, and I can see here too. I think, hopefully, everyone, let's share this. Share some joy for once. The world is so full of rage and anger and bad stories. You two are gorgeous. Yeah. Oh, Martin Taylor here. He's got, like, I think it's 5 kids now. Martin, 5, 1, 2, 3. It's 5, right? 6. He's got 6 kids. He's like a human rabbit, but they adore him, and they're all unjabbed. And you go there. Every time I'm in Sydney, I usually turn up, and they're these beautiful children. You know, they're vibrant. They've got their own lives. They're all separate, but they're growing, and there's just, I love being around it. Family's so important. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to get off your chest before we wrap it up? Oh, and also, I've already met Xavier. I want to say congratulations on even being a part of Xavier. Xavier has just blown me away. He's such a beautiful young man. Yeah. Apart from that, anything else you'd like to get off your chest, either of you?
I just want to say all 4 of my children and all 4 grandchildren are just as wonderful as Xavier. So
I bet they are.
Yeah.
I've only met the one though, so don't get, you know, it's not bragging.
I'm not bragging. I hate all my kids equally. So.
But seriously, is there anything else you'd like to get off your chest before we call it a night?
No, I think
we're pretty good.
It's all good. But if people feel like they need to reach out to us, we're happy for them to reach out to us through Facebook, Clinton Wickens and Vicky Wickens. You're welcome to reach out to us. But if they drag us down,
reach out to Cafe Lockdown, because if they don't see it tonight, anyone wants to get in contact, reach out to Cafe Lockdown, and we'll forward the emails through.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Love it.
No problem. Cool. Yeah. Build community. Awesome. Maybe people got to learn from you guys, you know?
Yeah. Actually, I would like to say I'd love to give thanks to Vicky's mum, Rose Harrington in Busselton, and my mum, Colleen Beecham, who's now in Harvey. They've been great supporters of us for forever. Our whole lives, and they're both fantastic women, done a fantastic job with raising us both. So, do need to give praise to them.
And I see Jennifer Lopez has put up, are they Xavier's parents? Yes, we are. That's our son. We created him.
It's going to be so interesting to see where he ends up. Talk about the seeds of greatness in someone. Yeah. Amazing. Okay, we're going to go out with the lucky country, but thank you for coming on. I was looking forward to this, and this is what we need now. It's all been through this shit. We can't keep hearing more shit. At some point, we've got to start remembering who we are, what actually is important, and really stopping, really, like, you know, stopping so you can see the forest for the trees, and going, why are we here? What are we doing? Is it really just to buy shit, or are we capable of so much more? And I think you guys are testament. We're capable of so much more.
Yeah.
So thanks. Okay.
You're welcome.
Good night to you guys, and we'll be back tomorrow, guys, with Michael. I have no chance of saying his second name, but he was a CFO of a multinational computer or internet company. What's that? CEO, the CEO or CFO was CEO, but he was really high up, well paid, first class tickets taken everywhere. And he left it all to become a psychic, because he said it was empty. So everything that you didn't have, he had, and he found nothing there. And the last time we interviewed him, he was house sitting around Byron. He'd lost everything, lost his wife, lost everything. All is gone, but he still felt he was on the right path. And now he's helping build the community of like you guys are doing his help, and Jeff's he's doing it in Brisbane and stuff like this. A real passion for life, and he doesn't feel like he's really lost anything. So this is what I'm saying. There is an exodus. There's something happening where people are going, where the government's taking us is not conducive to our souls. We're heading in another direction. And yeah. All right. Good night, guys. And thank you.
Love to you and Kelly.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
Yeah, no problem. No worries. This is the Lucky Country, and we'll see you tomorrow, guys. Good night.
No worries. Cheers.
Cheers.
When I met Jesus Christ, he was almost 10 years old, and he was helping his mother push a trolley full of all they owned. And because they couldn't find an inn they could get in, they were heading to the city and leaving Bethlehem. Couldn't you perform a miracle? I'm out of them, he said. I tried turning nothing into warmth, but it just made my mother cry. It just made my mother cry. Mary Magdalene has become a man, and tonight he's old, and she has been riding my tram. Now it's late and she's trying to sleep beneath the poster for a bank. Your dreams are important to us, as it bathes her face in gold. Come give us your natural gifts, we make wealth from toil. Come pretend for history's page that we're advancing Australia fair. Let's pretend that we're all advancing Australia fair. Back down the road I found the church we built on the black man's bones was empty, and out the front a sign read all but sold. A sign read all but sold. And we all owe so much money, but to whom we're not quite sure. So head down, we just keep running along our fading golden shores. So head down, we just keep running